What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. It's time to act now or face a dire situation. That's the warning from childcare advocacy groups to the country's presidential hopefuls. They want candidates to come up with policies that will stop the country's population from shrinking further. Leslie Liao explains.
Overhaul childcare systems and more flexibility for parents in the workplace. That's what civic groups are demanding from candidates in the presidential elections in January. Several advocacy organizations came together to lay out what they think candidates should push for in their campaigns. Taiwan's low birth rate is a growing problem for the country, and these groups say that Taiwan's next leaders will need to have a plan to deal with it. Specifically, they say the country's childcare systems and rules for working parents need to be improved to turn things around.
到2021年，人口的负成长更加的严重，高达接近3万人，是直接跟2020相比翻倍了大概3倍以上。
So what exactly do these groups want? First, more flexible parental leave at the workplace. The current policy only allows new parents to take 1 month off at a time. But the groups say more flexible leave can offset the anxiety of dealing with child-related emergencies. The groups also want working parents with children under 3 to get 1 hour off each day, making drop-off and pick-up times at daycare more accessible. Right now, Taiwan's law allows this flexible hour, but it's unpaid.
等于家长每天减少1小时工时，然后接送小孩没有那么大的压力，但是薪资又不会减少。
Finally, the groups are calling for a more consolidated daycare and kindergarten education system.
我可以0岁开始送到这间学校，一路就读到6岁，而不需要在中间2岁或3岁的时候转换机构。这个对现在很多家长都是，尤其从小读托婴中心的小孩的家长是一个很大的痛苦，因为托婴中心到满3岁，我一定会被赶出去。
And these groups made it clear that the country's low birth rate, one of the lowest in the world, is a dire situation.
因为我们的研究也显示，从各种数据上已经可以发现，此时此刻应该可以算是台湾最后可以翻转跟改变的机会了。各个执政的人、执政的政党应该拿出决心跟魄力，好真正的去掌握那个执行的方向。
The policy proposals may seem extreme, but the groups say that other countries have already implemented such measures and to great success. And they say there's no reason why these changes shouldn't be able to work here either. Eason Sun and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's largest ever weapons expo is back for the first time since the COVID pandemic. The military has doubled down on unmanned systems and drones as part of the country's future defense strategy, taking inspiration from the war in Ukraine. Our reporter Jaime Ocon has this report.
Taiwan's next generation of drones on display for the first time. It's been 4 years since this weapons expo was last held at Taipei's Nangang Exhibition Center. But now it's back, and the big focus this year is on how drones are changing the future of warfare.
The greatest single utility of drones we've seen is about putting eyes on the battlefield. They are essentially flying cameras, and they're very useful in that way because it allows you to essentially use an uncrewed system for something that at one time would have required you to send a soldier forward.
Drones have changed the calculus for militaries across the world, especially for countries like Taiwan with limited resources. They're cheaper than a fighter jet and easier to operate.
不管是形式或者它作战运用，日新月异，而且速度非常快。我想这一点是非常值得台湾学习、跟警惕和借鉴。那尤其我们又面对了这么强大的一个对手，所以说无人机是一种标准的不对称战力的发挥。
Asymmetric warfare means using smaller, mobile systems to counter larger, more expensive things like fighter jets and tanks. Taiwan faces the threat of invasion from China and has been looking at an asymmetric strategy as one of the best ways to make sure it can defend itself. And one source of inspiration has been Ukraine and its fight against Russia's invasion. Ukraine has been using drones not only for reconnaissance, but also to attack Russia's soldiers. And now Taiwan is looking to copy part of that strategy. In recent years, Taiwan's military has been looking to develop its own drone capabilities, producing drones of all different shapes and sizes and functions. This one here is one of Taiwan's largest combat drones, and it's already deployed by the Air Force, and it's used to monitor its coastline. Earlier this year, Taiwan announced it would create a new fleet of drones. Part of that initiative would see several commercial drones upgraded to military standard, equipped with state-of-the-art cameras, advanced sensors, and communication equipment.
But it's also going to need things that have more of range as well, particularly that could operate over the Taiwan Strait. So I would really be focusing on capabilities that you could use to both provide intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance over the Taiwan Strait, to identify targets, and also to be able to strike.
Taiwan is developing a variety of drones, many of which will be armed and will help support troops on the ground. The country is optimistic that mass production will begin soon, and for Taiwan's military, one thing is certain: these machines will play a crucial role in national defense. Andy Shui and Hameokan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has opened a new cultural division at its representative office in the Czech Republic. The new branch in Prague is part of deepening ties between the two countries. Taiwan's representative in the Czech Republic says that the office is the first in Central and Eastern Europe to have a cultural division. Czech officials have praised the new branch as a way to expand cultural exchanges.
Pro mě to je velká radost, zároveň cítím hrdost, že naše společné vztahy se rozvíjejí a jsem na to pyšný, že takto dokážeme používat a využívat kulturu k tomu, aby nás ještě více spojovala a vytvářeli jsme ještě pevnější přátelské vztahy.
Taiwan is celebrating the arrival of its 4 millionth tourist this year. But as Laurel Stewart explains, the return of travelers has been slower than expected.
South Korean Kim Ye-won receives flowers, small gifts and a cash prize upon arriving in Taiwan. She happens to be the country's 4 millionth tourist this year.
3박 4일로 왔고 시먼띵 근처에서 묵을 예정이고 융캉제나 뭐 예류 폭포 그리고 지우펀 이런 데 가게 되었습니다.
When Taiwan reopened borders last year after being completely closed off during the pandemic, it set a target of attracting 6 million tourists in 2023. But for that goal to be reached, another 2 million people still need to travel to Taiwan in the next 3 months. Tourism is at about half that of pre-pandemic levels. Previously, China was Taiwan's main source of visitors, but it now relies on people traveling from Hong Kong, Macau, Japan and South Korea. Still, the return of Japanese tourists following the lifting of COVID restrictions has not been as high as expected. Taiwan's transportation minister says other countries have helped pick up the slack.
四大市场里面，除了日本比较慢啦，哈，大概恢复35%，其他都超过50%，甚至像泰国、新加坡、越南哈，这个马来西亚都超过80%了哈。也就是说，这整个的复苏的力道非常的强哈。
Officials say they hope more people from Southeast Asia and North America will travel to Taiwan. And to boost interest, the government is offering cash vouchers for travellers, worth about $150. And to attract Japanese tourists, a new cruise route between Taiwan's east coast and Japan was opened earlier in the year. But with the Japanese yen losing value, making it cheaper to travel to Japan, and with prices soaring in Taiwan, many say Taiwan needs to do more to bring people back.
你要增加台湾旅游的竞争力，其实有些东西必须要慢慢的去更新跟更动，不是一天到晚就是太鲁阁、阿里山、太鲁阁、阿里山，我来3次来4次，还是一样太鲁阁、阿里山，看了蛮闲的。
The government says it hopes to upgrade scenic areas beyond Alishan and Taroko Gorge, connecting them and other cultural hotspots with better transportation links. Although analysts expect Taiwan to meet its goal of 6 million tourists this year, the travel industry's struggles look set to continue. James Lin and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of a Mayan archaeological site in southern Mexico. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.